Sometimes life goes, I love that idea for us, but here's what we're gonna do instead. And then throws like 5 life lessons at you in quick session, and we're over here like, what is even happening? Can we just calm down, please? And I think in that moment, we need to just maybe take a minute and take a breath and just let this be a learning moment. Not everything works out, not everything goes to plan, and that doesn't mean that something went wrong. Sometimes it just means that plan that made sense when you made it doesn't fit anymore. And I think the real win is noticing that and shifting the plan without carrying like a mountain of shame with that change. So this video is about learning what 2025 taught me and how those lessons are shaping what I'm changing going into 2026. Okay, so here's the big lesson I learned. It's about systems, time, and learning to stop panicking for long enough to actually let something work. Systems need time. Things evolve, life evolves, I have evolved, which means that I do need systems to support that evolution, but I also need to give those systems enough time to actually do their job. I'm not good at that. So this year, I tried a lot of different systems, like a lot. Too many, if we're being honest. It was not like an experimentation mission. That's different. This was like frantic energy that was rooted in like a quiet, low-key panic about not feeling in control of stuff. But I think the system that I tried that actually works best for me is the one that requires me to slow down. So that's slow productivity. Sounds like an oxymoron, but Cal Newport, what a genius that man is. Fewer inputs, longer timelines, more space to like adjust without throwing the whole thing out and just like putting your hands up in the air and saying like, it didn't work. So in 2026, I'm leaning into that. Fewer systems, more commitment to the ones that I actually choose, and giving it enough time to let them settle before deciding that they didn't work. It's sometimes just staying long enough to see what grows, and that's nice. The other part of this lesson was realizing that some things actually just don't work for me, even if other people swear by them and they work so well for other people. So I can't work entirely digitally. My brain doesn't like it. I can really lose track of what I'm doing and feel like quite disconnected from stuff. I need a few notebooks in my backpack and in my system. So just let me have my notebooks and I will work digitally as well. I just need to figure out what that balance is. I also can't just plan and review my life and what's happening once a month and tick the box and expect that to be enough. It sounds really efficient, so my brain loves that, but it doesn't work for me because I'll do the planning and feel super organized, and that will be about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna forget about half of the things that I planned to do because it's just, I'm not engaging with it. It's just sitting on my table at home. So for 2026, I'm changing the structure of how I'm doing things. Instead of having lots of disconnected goals and stuff, I'm working with overarching quests. They're like big containers that give me more room to like move and adapt and grow and get bored and like switch between them. So I've got 5 overarching quests, and all of these are focused on growth in some way, shape, or form. So 5 of these guys. First, mind, body, soul. All of the learning stuff is gonna go here. Yes. Then business progress. This one focuses on like steady, sustainable progress within my business and how I can take little steps to make big things happen. Then we have sustainability for the Katie campaign. This one is building things and processes and systems so that our impact can continue and grow without everything feeling very like last minute and like stressed energy. Things are going to come with ease because we are planning them to be that way. That's my plan. Then we have abundance and fun. Adventures live here, so that they are always included in the plans that I'm making, because you gotta have something from each of these containers in the plan. So abundance and adventures are always planned for, instead of like these things that randomly happen. We're getting excited ahead of time because we're planning for it to be an adventure and it's gonna be great. Yay! And then the last sort of container is personal projects. This last one is kind of a holding tank for all the hobbies and random things that I need to get done. I have a lot of hobbies. I'm crafty. I love a lot of things. And so this one's important so that the things don't get forgotten or like frustrate me for 3 months, because I don't have anywhere to put them to like action them. So those are the big buckets, but inside each of these I've got like 3 to 5 little sub quests which are fun, and that's enough focus to keep me moving forward without it feeling overwhelming to me. So I'm trying to find the balance in it. I'm not trying to remember everything all the time. I'm just choosing where to put my energy, and that I think is going to support me to actually achieve the things that I want to achieve in 2026. So we're going to lean fully into my inner systems nerd right now, because the right systems don't create pressure, they create momentum, and we need momentum. I've realized that I need a mission to keep my motivation moving, but also I need the mission to be broken down small enough so that the barriers to actually starting them are as low as possible, because I have a real thing with getting started. But once I'm going, I'm good. But the beginning bit, that's when my brain is just like, nah. So I need my brain to go, oh, that's not that hard. It's just this. And that being a really simple thing. And then I can take action within like 2 minutes of that thought arriving in my brain. That's the window for action in my system. I really hope that works out. So to support that whole mission, I am trying out cyclic planning. I'm working in like 13-week cycles with intentional breaks and reset weeks. I saw this idea from Jackie Cohen. I love her. I'm excited to try it and give like a focused attention to specific sub-quests for a set time frame instead of trying to like do everything all at the same time and then just get overwhelmed and end up doing nothing. That's my plan. Each cycle has a small number of quests so that there's diversity so I don't get bored, because that's a problem. But there's also like permission in the system to pause and reset and reassess and be like, maybe that's not working so well, and we're allowed to just change the plan. Like, it's fine, because we're only committed to that specific plan for a little bit of time. So I feel like that structure makes momentum building feel a lot more possible to me and not as overwhelming. Because if we're trying to plan for an entire year, like, that's a really long time to stay motivated and committed to something. And like, then how many things can you do if we try to do a smaller time frame with more things in that purposefully and intentionally? We could actually maybe achieve more things. That's the slow productivity attitude. So, let's see. There's one last thing that I'm deliberately bringing back onto my radar. I said this last year to a mentor and then I didn't act on it like at all. So I said to him, I want to be confused in as many rooms as possible. Let me explain how this works, because just saying that sentence is intimidating to me. But each of the quests is going to have this. I'm going to approach each of them with curiosity and also confusion. Curiosity is great for motivation and like excitement and yes, it gets you through the door like, oh, what's happening here? But confusion is where the learning happens, right? It's where we grow, and it's where the networking and the confidence and shit can start building. Because the great thing about confusion and being confused is that it doesn't last forever. Like, the longer you stay in the room, and the more questions you ask, and the more, like, enthusiastic you are about the fact that you don't know what's going on, the more you kind of realize that you actually do belong in that space. Because over time, like, once you've asked the question and somebody tells you the answer, you know that now. You're no longer confused. Like, you have information. So over time, the confusion dissipates and it turns into knowledge and confidence and like relationships that you've built because you were brave and you asked somebody a question and are you friends. That works out really well. And then they can support you in whatever you're doing as well. That is great. And I feel that combination of curiosity and confusion is actually what makes the quests work really well, I feel. Because now, instead of asking, can I do this? And that's like a whole lot of doubts and like all of that. Instead of doing that, we're gonna be asking things like, how great can that be? Like, where can this go, actually? And that's a way better place to be, I feel. It's a lot less judgmental, and I like that better. So, looking back at my 2025 quests, what matters most to me is not what I finished, it's what I learned about myself. I learned how I work and what supports me and what kind of systems I need and what helps me to keep moving forward without burning out. Because who wants to burn out? Nobody. We're not taking that into 2026. Going into next year, I'm combating my perfectionism narratives and I'm building strategies that make progress feel possible and small and beautiful and inevitable. Because if it's inevitable, then why are we not doing it? You know? It's not all about like getting everything right. It's about staying open and letting the learning be the point. So I'm excited to see how all of that unfolds and like reveals itself. So if this way of thinking about progress resonates with you and sits nicely, I'd really love for you to subscribe. This is kind of the stuff that I share here. This channel is basically me learning and living out loud and being dramatically confused about existence, which is a great time. And in the next video, I'm gonna be sharing my word of the year, how my 2025 word went, and how my 2026 word of the year is shaping how I'm approaching 2026. So I hope to see you there.